Hey friends, Drex here from DrexFactor.com, and today we're going to talk about homemade poi. There's a lot of different designs for DIY poi out there, but I learned one of my favorites about 10 years ago, and part of what I like about this design is it recycles materials that you may already have lying around the house. I also love that the design gives you some opportunities to be creative in how you decorate them too. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Emazing Lights, Flow Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can visit them all on the web by following the links down in the description of this video. Building your own poi can be a really fun exercise in construction, engineering, and sometimes even collaboration. There are so many ways to do it out there, but by and large people who build their own poi usually start with a weight of some sort inside of socks. While I dig the creativity of using what's at hand, I also find that socks create problems when you start playing around with throws, stalls, and isolations, because they can stretch and it'll throw off your momentum. The design I'm going to show you guys today is static. It doesn't stretch at all, so it behaves much more like other sets of poi, like contact poi, LED, or fire poi. Before we start, just one quick note. Building your own set of poi can be super fun, but there are also lots of people out there who build props professionally, and supporting them also supports them as artists. Projects like these are fun, but make sure that you're also supporting your community. That said, I know that more than a few of you guys out there watching are in places where it's hard to acquire poi, or even the pieces to make poi. The design I'm about to show you comes with you in mind, and hopefully should involve materials that you already have access to. So, let's get started. This trip is going to involve 2 stops. Alright, so we've got 2 stops on this trip. The first one is going to be the hardware store, where I'm going to pick up everything that I'm going to need for the tether, as well as the handles if I want to add them. Awesome, so they had everything that I needed, but the rope was a little bit more expensive than I was anticipating, because in a lot of places you can actually buy rope by the foot instead of by the big bundle like that. But no matter. Alright, next stop is to the bike store. The reason being that, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but inner tubes get thrown out all the time, and those are what we are going to use for the heads of our poi. So, I'm going to go see if they've got any inner tubes for us. I hope we're in luck.
Hi, what's up?
Not much. I'm just curious, do you guys have any inner tubes that you're going to be throwing out?
If we have any old stuff coming around the side of the building.
Cool, thank you.
Yep.
Outstanding, we got everything that we need, so let's head back and get to building. To make these poi, all you really need is a pair of scissors. If you'd like to add the optional handles, it would also help to have a power drill handy. Here are our materials. So let's get started by working on the bike inner tube. Cut out the segment of the inner tube that has the valve on it so that you wind up with a long tube rather than a donut. Next, you're going to want to cut down the length of the tube itself. I usually try to cut down the innermost seam for the best stretching properties. Once you're finished cutting, you should wind up with something that looks like a long piece of rubber tape. Fold it in half and cut across the halfway point, giving you 2 pieces of rubber tape of equal length and width. Next, you'll probably want to wash off these rubber pieces because they will be covered in dirt. Hang them up to dry, and it's time to work on our tethers. If you want to add handles, go ahead and drill out those rubber furniture feet. You'll want to use a drill bit that's the next size up from the width of your rope. Make sure to put down something to use as a tarp so you don't get rubber shavings everywhere. Now, put your rope through the end of one of the feet. If you want, you can add weight by throwing some washers on there too. Tie off a knot and pull the rope through. One note here real quick. You can also just make handles by holding on to the knots in the rope themselves. The furniture feet are totally optional. So now you want to measure out how long you want your poi to be. You can either measure from your thumb to your shoulder, or if you know the length you want, use a measuring tape. Tie another knot in the rope and cut the rope off just above it. Use a lighter to melt the ends and you've got one tether done. Go ahead and repeat this process with the other tether and you're ready for the inner tube, which should now be not dry yet. It takes a little while. Okay, grab a book and a drink then. Cool, ready to go. Take a small piece of tape and use it to attach the end of one of those cut inner tubes to one of the tethers near the end away from the handle. Now begin wrapping, making sure to keep the roll underneath the knot at the end. As much as possible, try to avoid having any slack in the rubber as you wrap it up. That'll make it less likely that it'll accidentally come off at some point in the future. When you're finished wrapping up the inner tube, tape around it to keep it in place. At this point, you can use all kinds of decorative tapes of different colors to create the look that you want for your poi. Repeat the same process with the other tether, and now you've got a pair of poi to go out and spin. The weight should be pretty close to what you're used to for many other sets of poi, and you can put your own unique design sensibilities on the heads. One quick note here, these poi are not by any means soft. They will hurt when they hit you, so they might not be the best option for people who are starting from scratch. So all told, I spent $17 on the rope, $5 on the tape, $4 on the furniture feet, 44 cents on the washers, and the inner tubes were absolutely free. Total cost for this pair of poi, $26.44. That's pretty cheap. Bear in mind that you may already have a lot of these materials laying around the house. The cost of these could be as little as nothing depending upon what you have on hand. You get to make these as simple or as ornate as you like. What are your favorite designs for DIY poi? Let me know down in the comments. Did you make up a set of poi using this method? Show me your poi on Instagram by using the hashtag DrexFactorPoi. Thanks so much for watching. If you got anything out of this video, please hit that like and subscribe button to help my channel grow. Special thanks to all of my awesome supporters on Patreon. You guys are the ones that make these videos possible. If you're not a current backer and would like to sign up to support the work that I do, please go to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. Thanks again, and peace.